Our first reader is Liz Hazen, and I am truly delighted to introduce her. Elizabeth Hazen is the author of Chaos Theories and Girls Like Us. Her poetry will make you notice words much more than you usually do. It's as if she put the words through the car wash before she uses them. All the layers of old crap come off and they're new again, sparkly and clean. Intimacy, immediacy, ventricle, chokeberry. She's known for dealing with the metaphoric import of scientific ideas, as well as with the experience of being female in a culture of misogyny. As the great Elizabeth Squire said of her new book, Girls Like Us, wrenching in its declarations and revelations, this is a book for this particular moment. Hazen is a poet of admirable courage, unflinching honesty, and deep accomplishment. Liz is a graduate of Yale and the Hopkins Writing Seminars. She teaches at Calvert School. Her poems have appeared in Best American Poetry, American Literary Review, and many other places. She's also one of my best friends, and I will say that as much as she excels at poetry, she excels at friendship even more. She joins us tonight from her home in Baltimore. Take it away, Liz.
Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Thank you to the Writers Center and Zach. I actually cut my teeth at the Writers Center, and that's where I met Rose a lot of years ago, I think 25 plus at this point. So it's really a delight to be reading. I wish we were at the actual Writers Center, but it's really a privilege to be reading at this event. And thanks to Rose and Jimmy, the best publishers in the world, and to Kate for letting me crash your book launch with my book actually came out a year ago, and it was, I think, the last time I was in public at a social event. Here we go. Yes, I was 15, 10 years ago, actually. I'm going to start with the first poem in Girls Like Us. It's called Devices. And I'm a middle school English teacher. I'm actually going to step away from teaching at the end of this year, but you will tell from this poem that I have spent many years in the classroom. This is called Devices. Rhyme relies on repetition. Pink drink, big wig, tramp stamp, rank skank. Alliteration too. Peter Piper's pickled peppers, silly Sally's sheep. Silly trumping smart because the L's create consonants. Assonance repeats vowel sounds. Hot bod, dumb slut, frigid bitch. Even his line, girl, we'll have a fine time, or her refusals, no, don't. In metaphor, we compare two things. Suppose a man calls a woman fox. We understand this is not literal. Same goes for pig, dog, chick. Same goes for octopus, as in his hands were all over me. Metonymy relies on association. Suits, skirts, that joke about the dishwasher. If it stops working, slap the bitch. Synecdoche reduces a thing to a single part. He wants pussy, by which we must infer he wants a woman. We've been called so many things that we are not. We startle at the sound of our own names. As I was trying to figure out what to read, and it's been a while since I love giving readings, and it's been a while since I've had the opportunity to do so. And I mean, so many of my poems are about visibility and invisibility, a lot of hiding in them. And so I sort of went through, and I guess thematically, I was choosing poems that I feel like speak to that. It's been on my mind a lot. I just saw that amazing movie about the young woman, Promising Young Woman. That's been on my mind. So there's mostly from the new book, and then I'll tell you there's a couple from Chaos Theories. But this one is from way back when I used to work as an artist model in college. And I think Rose actually did the same thing. And I remember when I started doing it, I would often think of Rose being in a similar situation. So this is called Tips from a Nude Model. If you sit still long enough, your ass can fall asleep. The numbing will be gradual as curtains fade in light. Try not to worry if you lose sensation. No one can hurry the clock's progress. If your body wakes to pins, you must ignore the pain. It's only skin deep after all, till he completes his sketch, and then you may unfold yourself and stretch. When you resume the pose, arms arched in place above your head to create negative space, select a focal point and fix your gaze. It is useful to remember no one stays statue still. Don't forget to breathe. Don't let him touch you. When the session ends, collect your pay. Insist on cash. Get dressed. Don't smile. Know that your body may be numb a while. And when you see yourself revealed in paint, note the proportions, but ignore the faint glimmer he put in your eye that isn't you. Embrace who you are, the nothing that you do. This actually comes right after that one in the book. This is called Hide and Seek. In childhood, you believed everything was waiting to be found. Think of the rocks your father led you to, the fossils inside, the basement boxes spilling secrets, love letters, photographs, cracked china dolls, handkerchiefs stitched with strange initials. Think of the stillness of your hiding place, your body stretched so flat beneath the sheet, a wrinkle alone betrayed you. You dwindled. Protruding bones became a shroud. No one could see beyond your hunger. Even now, your low-cut dress, electric blue and shining, reveals nothing of consequence. You spend whole seasons hiding, emerging just to check the mail, but your ear is always cocked for Ali Ali oxen free. Let's see how I'm doing. Okay, this one is, again, I mean, I feel like it's similarly sort of about trying to figure out, I don't know, the speaker's trying to figure out who she is and where she belongs, which maybe we're all always trying to do. And sort of about a road trip from way, way back. I think I was about 8 years old and we drove cross country. It's called Death Valley. My father grips the wheel. My mother reads a map in darkness. We are somewhere between Flagstaff and Antelope Canyon. I am somewhere between my brother and the wheel well. Jackrabbits play chase with our van, and I am out of breath. This morning, an invisible rattle shook, but we carried on through oceans of sagebrush and sand. Back home, cicada shells cling to bark. For weeks after our return, I will pluck the umber husks and string them like trophies to tie around my neck. On the window, I trace Elizabeth in the fog of my breath. By the time I reach the H, the E has disappeared. And then there's a poem from the first book that's about hide and seek that is actually the one that is in Best American, which was like such a thrill. Remember getting the email about that and just bursting into tears. So this is called Thanatosis. For those who cannot camouflage themselves, the alternative to fight or flight is tonic immobility. The victim's one trick to keel over. The cooling skin expels foul smells, teeth clench, eyes glaze. The heart sustains a sluggish thump. What's outside can't revive the creature. It feels nothing, though alive, paralyzed while the predator remains. Waiting in the closet behind my mother's dresses, scent of hyacinth, I transmute, mouth pressed in the wool of her one good suit, into a speechless, frozen thing. The others call me from far away, but I am fixed right here, as if these shadows have cast doubt across my way of seeing. I don't want out. And like the prey who plays rigor mortis, biding her time when the enemy is near, while I'm inside this darkness, I can see no difference between death and immobility, what it is to hide and to disappear. So I mentioned that movie, Promising Young Woman, which is just so, I don't know, relevant to so many things. And I have a lot of poems. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but it has to do with the culture of men feeling that they can do what they want with women who are intoxicated. And I have a few poems about that. So this is called Dictation. After days of heavy drinking, blackout is swift and total. Mexico, the moon so huge and blank, a hole of perfect darkness punched out. You wake up aching. Sand plasters your left ear. How like a doll you were, how yielding. I could have done anything I wanted. With a ragged fingernail, you scrape the sand that cakes your ear. Your thirst dictates silence. Anything I wanted, but I decided not to. Decisive, incisive, he decided. And are you not the one who wanted him to stiffen up the drinks? Are you not the one who fell? But he decided. You practice arguments on your own body, a different voice repeating, unclamp your tongue. Let's see, I have a few more. Yeah, right, Marion. So this is called Monster. And again, you know, another poem about identity. I think so many of us sometimes wonder, you know, if we are monsters, or what, you know, wonder about our own, I guess, impulses and destructive tendencies. Maybe we don't all, but I do. So this is called Monster. Just now, a sudden ruckus thrusts me from dreaming into darkness, like the snow of an old TV set, a hangover's persistent whine. Stacks of scrapbooks tower like cairns. The rattle at my window beckons like a dare, an opossum, glass between us, cellophane, then mirror. I cry out. I close the curtain, pull it back. In the carport floodlight, teeth like dripping needles. Remnants of my last few meals litter the concrete. I bang the glass with my palms, then flatten myself into bed. If I can't see her, I tell myself, she isn't there. And I think might be getting to the end of my time. So I'm gonna end with the last poem in Girls Like Us, which I think I partly chose it. A lot of the poems might feel sort of dark, and I feel like this is maybe one of the more hopeful poems in the collection, and hopefully, yeah, a new direction. Maybe all of future ones will lighten up a little. So this is called Monarch, and it again is about identity, but maybe I think it's about you know, realizing that there are more options than maybe you first thought, or we can be, it's not a foregone conclusion, you know, who we become, who we have to. So this is called Monarch. A monarch butterfly fallen from the air lay in a field. I took her home, pinned her to the wall above my desk. For 5 years, she was part of the scenery, like the teacup my son painted, or like the Post-it note you left once, slipping out before I woke. I love you, scrawled in Sharpie. I took for granted her orange rind, stained glass wings, slanted bolts of black, the texture of velvet paintings, white spots along the edge like eyelets. I moved in with you gradually, a few boxes each weekend for months. I moved the Monarch toward the end in a frenzy of packing and lifting. I was careless with her, tossed her without thinking into a liquor box filled with books, the spine's uneven hazards. That she was mine to protect had not occurred to me before I opened the box to find the right wing torn. So all that was left was her body, the other wing, and orange flecks like confetti that I shook out over my empty desk, brushed into my palm, and let fall into the trash. I was certain she was beyond repair, but now that she's gone, I see her everywhere. Great, thank you so much. What a pleasure to share poems with all of you. Thank you.